you had an interesting thing about Animal House in there. How
Yeah.
toga parties exploded after they had the toga party in Animal House, and it kind of reminds me, from my point of view, when I was going to college, with a different world was on in school days, which dealt with both
Yeah.
of HBCUs, and also those HBCU shirts. Oh, and BET used to show Black college football games. And I
Yeah.
don't think people, I have this feeling that when people see something that has something to do with college, because college is fun, I think it actually encourages people to go to school. That's why I
Oh,
wish
yeah.
sometimes that even with something like Van Wilder, people like, oh, that looks kind of cool. Maybe I could be like him. I do think pop culture does have an importance of actually promoting education, even though they might be doing comedies and having fun with it.
Oh yeah, I mean, the cool thing about Animal House was that you essentially saw this film, which the film Animal House doesn't take place. It takes place in the 70s, but you had a whole generation that was going to school for the first time. The number of people whose parents did not attend college in the 1970s who were going to college was at record levels. And so you basically had a lot of people who had none of that like institutional knowledge of what it means to be a person who goes to college. You had like once they got there, obviously, you keep up, you brief yourself, you figure how it goes. But like for a lot of people, they didn't have anybody to kind of relate. Here's what your prototypical college experience would look like. That film did that because that film, the writers were drawing on their experience going to college in the 50s and 60s and potentially early 70s. And like, for instance, the toga party is like, there had been toga parties. That was just, in the post-war college generation, there were people who went to college and they had like fun little silly parties, and after that boomlet of GIs going into college that kind of subsided, then all of a sudden it just kind of became a thing that occasionally happened. But Animal House comes out and it's a mass media that tells you the best kind of party to have is a toga party. And now all of a sudden people are like, okay, well, I'm going to college for the first time ever. I ought to maybe put on a toga party. And so it gives us an opportunity to, on some level, get a perspective that we are potentially deprived from our upbringing. And so potentially the chance to watch an HBCU play college ball on BET gives people an opportunity to envision like, oh, these are schools that exist that I can aspire to and an institution that I can try to go to. And it would not at all surprise me if that had a meaningful impact on how people perceive those schools in society.